as the sun goes down, the speeds go up. It's almost time to get underway for this shootout for the fastest time and the best possible grid position for tomorrow's race. Let's get on with it. It's qualifying for the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Hello there everybody, it's Joe here and welcome back to my F1 25 My Team Career Mode. We're at Sakhir for the Bahrain Grand Prix. If you haven't seen the last instalment from Suzuka, I mean it was a bit of a destruction derby in the end, but yeah, one to forget there. Let's bounce back here and try and maybe nab another point or two. Now, as it's round 4 and last time out we raced as Zane Maloney, this time we are driving as Tim Tramnitz. And so far on the first lap, we're just getting a feel for the car. It's not the best lap I could do, I'll be honest. There's little bits of time that I feel like we left on the table, but as we clip the apex, we finished the lap really nicely. But I just don't think it's fast enough right now to get us through into Q2. So what we are doing is we are waiting to the end of the session, and we've gone again. And this time already, by the end of Sector 1, we found half a second. We didn't find much more because we pretty much nailed the whole second half of the lap. So we've actually lost a tenth there, but we're still 3 tenths up, and it's still enough to get us through into Q2 in P13. Don't ask where Zane Maloney is. He is in stone dead last. Cheers, Zane. Just when I needed you, you know. Anyway, through to Q2 now. And this lap is looking even better. We're 4 tenths up on Antonelli at the end of Sector 2. And can we get ourselves cheekily in to Q3? Hitting the final apex of the final turn. What is the lap time? I think it's a 31.2, and I think it is enough to get us into Q3, but by the slimmest of slim margins. However, we are in the top 10. I elected not to do a further lap, rather to save a set of tyres instead of just qualifying 9th or 10th and saving them if we needed them in the race.
2004 to get Sakhir ready for its Grand Prix debut. But today, the only race is where it matters. Right on track. Welcome to the Bahrain Grand Prix. Formula One returns to the desert today on this exceptional 3.36 mile circuit. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Russell, Oscar Piastri, and Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Tramnitz, Lawson, and Yuki Tsunoda, Verstappen, Antonelli, Pierre Gasly, and Behrman, Hadjar, Bortoletto, Lance Stroll, and Alex Albon, Ocon, Hulkenberg, Doohan, and Zane Maloney rounds off the grid. And alongside me in the commentary box today, a man who I always look up to, which is easier said than done, Anthony Davidson.
It's time for the Bahrain Grand Prix. 29 laps ahead of us here at Sakhir, and we are underway, and we're underway very well. Sainz in front of us not getting a good start. I'm now in front of him. I'm on the left of George Russell. That was a bit risky car positioning. Lawson on the outside, Russell on the inside, both completing the moves. We're down to 6th, and we've got Alonso on our left trying to have a go and put us into 8th, and we're still side by side with Fernando Alonso going down the straight into the right-hander, braking later and moving back into P7. So we've got clear of Fernando Alonso, but it's Russell with a good start, and also with a surprisingly good start is Liam Lawson as we try and have a look down the inside of Russell. No way through there. However, Russell is going in tight, and we're going to go in and switch back. We move up ahead of George Russell into P6, and we've got Liam Lawson in our sights for P5. He had a great start. Lawson started P9, he moves up to P5, and speaking of moving up places, here's George Russell having a look down my inside. I'm allowing him space. Russell not quite completing it there, but staying committed to having a go. Side by side as we complete the first lap. Lewis Hamilton leading the way. Here comes Fernando Alonso as well. I'm just going to park my car in the middle of the track, brake a bit later and hope for the best. And those two are going for it. You know what, you two? Scrap amongst yourselves. I don't want any part of this. But what's that going on ahead? That looks quite interesting. And this is Liam Lawson having a go at Piastri, who I think in turn was initially having a look at Charles Leclerc. And Liam Lawson's getting involved. You can see in the background me, Russell and Alonso fighting. How that didn't come to contact, I don't know. But Lawson unable to pass Piastri at this time. Russell nearly losing it right behind us. Next lap on lap 3. Here comes George Russell again. He's having a little look, but he's not quite through. But he's trying to force the issue. And we go side by side at the end of sector 1. I've gone a bit deep. Russell's found a way through, but I'm going to switch back and go to the inside of this hairpin here. We've gone a bit deep. Russell now trying to up and under. He is through, but I've got the inside of the next turn. Give it up, George. I am coming past. And that's exactly what we do. Russell eventually having to back out and submit to that one for now. And we've now got Franz Herrmann having a go. Sorry, I mean Max Verstappen having a go. I've gone to defend, but when it's Max Verstappen, trying to defend that, it has about as much point as a circle, that. So, yeah. And we went a bit deep actually trying to fight him. Verstappen is now through and into P6, and we're still fighting George Russell. And I'm letting him go here because I'm thinking, tee-hee, I can let him through at the detection point and get myself a bit of DRS here. And you know what we're going to do with that DRS? We're going to blast past him and make his headache even more intense. Through back past George Russell and back into P7. Verstappen's cleared off down the road. He's even got past Liam Lawson now, who's still sitting in P6. The pack are now starting to pit. Russell's not pitting though, he's trying to overtake me still. And we're going to have a go round the outside here. And look at the traction we get round the outside. That is surprising. But Russell this time, it looks like he's through. And we're now getting a run with the DRS. This is going to be a very late send down the inside. And Russell unable to stop that one. I think we caught him napping just a little bit there. And we move up into what is P5 now. In terms of strategy, I'm just thinking, how long can we run? Because we started on the hard tyres, and I was thinking of going hard, medium, medium. But then I thought to myself, can we make a one-stopper work? So let's just run as long as we can and see what happens. The two Ferraris are 1 and 2 until Leclerc pitted. And we're now coming to the end of lap 11. And there's yellow flags ahead. So what's happened there? It can only be Lewis Hamilton. And it is Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton is out of the race. And at the end of lap 11, we lead a Grand Prix. We are leading the Bahrain Grand Prix. Just like we led the Japanese Grand Prix as Zane Maloney before it all went wrong. But as Tim Tramnitz, we are leading the Bahrain Grand Prix. So this is the second race in a row that we've led. And the tyres are still feeling okay. So I'm thinking if we can go to 16 or 17 and then pit, this is making us look very good for the race. And you know what works even more? We've got a red flag! So that also helps us in the grand scheme of things. But why do we have a red flag? It's because Yuki Tsunoda here has binned it. Tsunoda spinning it round. And that's in quite a dangerous place. But I'm surprised they threw a red for that. I would have thought that would be safety car at maximum. But nope, they've thrown the red flag. And that basically means I get to make my pit stop and maintain the lead. Not sure if that works out for me or not, because I think we might have had 1 or 2 seconds to the good on Max without that. But whatever, we're on the grid. 5 red lights, we're back underway with a 13-lap stint to victory. What can we do? Can we get a big result here? Verstappen is down the inside having a look. I'm covering him off. By all means, I am going to try for the win. But if we can't get it, I'm going to try for a podium or a top 5. We are in an absolutely insane position here, thanks to where the red flag fell, because that's allowed me to take my pit stop and keep the lead. Verstappen is not letting me get away though, and neither is Charles Leclerc, but he's on softs. They won't go 13 laps, so surely he's got to pit again. Let's have a replay of the restart. Look, we got away quite nicely there, but Verstappen, he really got a superb launch, and he made me have to defend that going into 1, but we hold on to it. Verstappen going in a bit too tight there, and that's cost him a bit of momentum. But here we are leading the race, and we're still leading at the beginning of lap 18. But here comes Max Verstappen, and here comes Charles Leclerc. And it's 3 wide going into turn 1, but I'm in the middle, and I'm braking later again, trying to hold on to it. We just about hold on to it, but Charles Leclerc going for second place, and he takes second place. And now Leclerc is putting pressure on us. But I'm not all that worried about Leclerc, because he will need to pit again. So, I mean, I'm not going to waste time trying to defend that. Leclerc sends it and takes the lead, but that's going to allow us a bit of DRS and just a little bit of, can he pull us along for a while and protect us from Max? That's what I'm going for here, as we're on lap 19, 11 laps to go, and I'm staying with Leclerc here, which is surprising. I'm staying right behind him, and that's allowing us to continue using the DRS. And that in turn is allowing us to keep Max Verstappen behind. Oscar Piastri is right behind him. Liam Lawson in 5th, but again, Lawson will have to pit. And he has indeed pitted by now, I think. Lap 21 of 29. Here comes Max Verstappen, and you know what? Old Bahrain trick. I'm just going to let him through right at the detection point. And, oh, that was a bit cheeky from Verstappen. He went through and then decelerated mid-corner. Little bit of brake testing from Verstappen there, but it doesn't faze me. I backed out in time and we blast past him on the straight, making him look like he's standing still. Leclerc's trying to build up a gap. He's nearly 3 seconds clear already. And I bet he's hoping that this battle got a bit more intense so he could pull out further and not lose any positions. Verstappen, however, down the inside. And this time, Verstappen makes it through up into P2, which will become P1. And Max Verstappen, well, he's through. Verstappen has now got through. There was no stopping that. And now we're down into what is effectively P2. But let's try and hang on to that. We've not got long in this race to go. I'm definitely going to try and hang on to that. Failing that, we're going to try and hang on to the top 3. And I do apologise. I wrongfully stated that Liam Lawson had pitted. He's not pitted yet, but he's pitting this lap. There you go. There's the confirmation. Lawson in. And we've got Piastri down the inside, trying to make the move work. Is Piastri going to make the move work? Oh, it's so close here. We're side by side. But Piastri just getting it done. And now we're going to try and go to the outside to retake it. George Russell also there. But I've seen the pair of them off. And we are back in P2. This is getting serious. This is getting difficult to see them both off. But we're doing our best here. And we have a virtual safety car, which will give us a bit more time to breathe. Why we've got that, we're watching what I believe is Hadjar and Sainz. Sainz, his race has really gone to hell, hasn't it? But Maloney's come out of the pit, Sainz has got into him, and Hadjar has got into Sainz. Both of them taking damage, and that's why we have the virtual safety car to retrieve the debris. Back with it on lap 26, Piastri getting through, but again, my Bahrain trick, and that braking nearly ruined it for us. But Piastri is through, and we're now going for him. We're going to attack Oscar Piastri heading down the straight. Are we going to get through here? Answer, yes. We are past Piastri and into P2. Oscar's still trying to get down the inside, but it's not working. We're holding on to the place. We only have 3 laps to hold on to what would be a spectacularly huge result, especially at this early stage of this My Team Career Mode. And we're just about hanging on. Lap 27, Piastri is getting impatient. He's now sending it down the inside. I'm braking later to try and stop him. We're side by side now. I get the DRS. Piastri doesn't, but Piastri has got some great speed and great momentum down the straight. He's still just about hanging on. Hard on the brakes. Down the inside comes Piastri. I've gone a bit deep, and we're now a little bit compromised off the corner. Oscar's going to have another go down the inside here, surely. Yes, he is, before I can go to cover. Piastri sending it down the inside. Our tyres are just not in a fit state to really fight this one too hard. Piastri on the right, we're on the left. I'm not giving up just yet. Piastri is through. Contact there with the left rear wheel, and we're going to dive down the inside and still try and hold on. This is a great fight, and this is great racing between myself and Piastri, but I think he might just have it here. We're going to go for the switchback, and we're going to take the position back. However, I'm not sure that move was entirely legal. I think we had 2 wheels off the circuit. Well, in fact, I think we had all wheels off the circuit. So, to make this right, when Oscar comes at me this time, I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to let Oscar go, and we're going to try and claim and finish in P3. I would have fought Oscar harder, but I did think to myself, we kind of cut the corner there, so do the right thing, give Oscar the position, and still P3 is a big result at this stage of this My Team Career Mode. It's 15 championship points, which are a huge boost at this stage. I did not expect that we'd be in the top 5 at this stage, let alone the top 3, and about to secure a podium, but that is what's going to happen. I think we got a bit lucky with how the strategy fell, and how the red flag fell, and how the other drivers managed their strategies during the red flag. But you know what? At the end of the day, strategizing is part of the sport. Russell trying to have a last minute go round the outside. That's not happening. Down the straight we go. It's going to be P3 and a podium in the 4th race of this career mode.
Yes, mate,
and you know what?
Well done. We're really happy
I am happy with that.
So well done. Yes.
And in the end, there was no Verstappen. Max Verstappen, he takes victory.
They had to be decisive with their overtaking today as they worked their way through the field. And those kind of race victories are so enjoyable because it's not just like winning from the front. They really had to work for it today.
It's time to bring out the bubbly and spray it around. It's our podium celebrations. But there can only be one on the top step. Your number 1, Max Verstappen. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Unbelievable to say that we've secured a podium in round 4. Like, the car not really fit to be in the top 10, and we struggled to put it there. We had to push hard to get the points we did in China, and yet here we are in Bahrain, albeit a bit of luck falling on our side, and we're on the podium. That is incredible. Verstappen takes the win, Piastri getting second, and with that, Verstappen exceeds his lead in the championship, extending the gap to 20 points. Lando Norris, who caught right up in Suzuka, now with a lot more to do if he wants to catch Verstappen up. Piastri is now third, Leclerc fourth, but Tim Tramnitz moving into the top 10 with 16 points. He must have a serious backache from carrying the team. And we take a huge jump up as well in the Constructors from 10th to 7th. What a season it's been so far. What a first few races. I feel like Jeddah's going to give us a bit of a reality check. But you know what? I'm enjoying the moment. Thank you for watching this installment of Career Mode. Don't forget to leave a like and hit subscribe if you're new and you want to see more content from me. Until the next time, TTFN, ta-ta for now, take care, enjoy the rest of your day.